And now, a preview of 30Seven by Jeremy Robinson. 1. I don't know why I'm doing this. Camping. Roughing it. It's not me. I'm more comfortable behind a computer. Well, that's not true. I'm the most comfortable behind a computer, designing, coding, and sometimes even voice acting in my indie video games. Sure, I hire out for some things, but 80% of my games are all me. And 100% of all that skill, knowledge, and creativity has zero benefit when sleeping in an old-school cabin in the backwoods of Maine. It's 6 a.m, and I'm resisting the urge to check my phone, not because I've sworn off it for the sake of this father-son bonding experience, but because there's no signal here. Every time I look at it, hoping for a single bar of reception, it just becomes clearer and clearer how much of my comfort in life comes from a device. It's embarrassing, but a necessary crutch that's helped me get through the past year. A source of constant distraction, keeping my thoughts from overwhelming me. Now, here, all I have are my thoughts, and their torture. So I focus on my surroundings. Again. The white sheet has been worn so thin by time that it's transparent. My mattress is old and lumpy, patterned with narrow white and blue stitched stripes. It smells musty and of old urine. Best guess this place, Moose Hollow Campground, was once part of a kids' camp that launched during the 1940s. The outhouse suggests it was built during the 1800s, but I think the owners were going for a good old nature experience. Like I said, roughing it. Need to cook? Find some wood and start a fire. You want to wash your hands? Walk 5 minutes to the lake and use the water that fish and beavers piss in on a regular basis. Happily, I thought to bring hand sanitizer. They can take the tech out of the cabin. They can make me shit in a hole covered by a wooden box, but they can't take the modern world out of my SUV. If I'm desperate for music, air conditioning, or a snack, my Hyundai Santa Fe has me covered. If only it had a satellite connection. I'm an internet addict. TikTok, too. News, music, games. Whatever it takes to stay distracted. Ugh. And now I'm thinking about it again. The internet. My addiction to such a thing is obvious and annoyingly first world, but that's who I am. Who I've been for the past year. Because I'm definitely not the kind of guy that can sleep in a place like this, wake up refreshed, and march headlong into a day of... what? Hiking, canoeing, driving 30 minutes to grab McDonald's for lunch, maybe find some hot dogs at the gas station that we can cook on a stick for supper. That'd be a campy thing to do. I could do that. Get some marshmallows, make some s'mores. I could totally do that. Hey, Elias, I say, knowing my son will be awake. He's always been a crack-a-dawn kind of kid. Thought it might change when he hit double digits, but he's been 13 years old for 5 months now and still wakes up hours before me. Doesn't help that I'm a night owl and my own boss. I sometimes wake up 5 hours after him. But not today. Buddy, what are you doing? I roll over in my bed, expecting him to be sitting on the floor, building a card house, playing solitaire, or drawing in his ultra-private no-one-touches-it sketchbook. But he's not on the floor. And he's not in bed. I sit up like I'm spring-loaded. Despite the cabin being a single empty room with no nooks or crannies, I look around again, and then under both beds. Kid can hide like a ninja when he wants to, but there's nowhere to hide. Unless... Already dressed, I slip on my shoes and head for the door. It's warm outside, but not hot. That will come later today. The cabin door, which is on a spring arm, slams shut when I step down the moss-covered concrete blocks that serve as a staircase. Elias, I shout. Not too loud, but loud enough for the kid that doesn't normally leave the house, never mind the yard. He doesn't respond, and I don't see him. Tall pines sway in the morning breeze, partially concealing other cabins spread out around the campground. I was told there are 50 cabins, but I get the impression that fewer than half are occupied. Bathroom, I think. At home, Elias is one of those kids that just takes forever in the bathroom. I assume he's just playing a game on his phone. I do the same thing. But I can't imagine him doing that in the outhouse, because it smells like literal shit. I run around the cabin to the little shack with cracks between the planks and a moon cut into the door. It's not the most private place to take a piss, but I'm guessing airflow is important. So the air is breathable, to reduce the smell, to keep a smoker from accidentally setting off an explosion. Elias! Hey! I'm running by the time I reach the door. My nerves are starting to get wang-jangled. The door is hanging open a crack, something Elias would never allow if he were inside. I yank it open anyway. It's empty. Panic takes root, squirming its frantic tendrils deep into my amygdala. Elias! I shout, this time holding nothing back. I half expect people to stumble out of the other cabins in concern, but the morning is just as still as it had been before I realized Elias wasn't in the cabin. I run to the side of my cabin, hoping to find him in the Santa Fe, but the keys are in my pocket, and I definitely locked it up tight last night. As predicted, the orange SUV is empty. I return to the front of the cabin. It doesn't have a foundation. It's lifted off the ground by 8 concrete pillars, high enough to crawl under, if you're a kid. I drop to my stomach like I'm doing burpees. Phone in hand, flashlight on, I sweep the cabin's underside. Nothing. Shit. Back to my feet, looking around again. Elias! My voice cracks. Having trouble thinking. Where is he? He doesn't do anything illogical. He's a thoughtful young kid. If he left, it was for a reason. Hits me like a slap to the face. Used the bathroom. Wanted to disinfect his hands. Sanitizer is in the car. I was asleep with the keys in my pocket. The lake. I'm not known for any kind of physical ability. I'm not overweight, but I'm not exactly fit. While my muscles and bones collectively shout, "What the hell?" I manage to hit my life's top speed as I careen toward the lake. I weave in and out of trees, bounce over long twisting pine roots. The carpet of pine needles covering the ground is slippery, but I'm in the zone. The journey to the beach is reduced to somewhere just north of a minute. I slide to a stop in the beach sand that someone dumped here ages ago. I look to the left, then to the right. A crane is the only other living thing on the sand. I search the water, but the lake is empty. What do I do? What the fuck do I do? There's a payphone at the Welcome Center. 911 should work there. But that'll take, 10 minutes? I'm winded. Couldn't run like that again. If Elias is close and in trouble, I should look for him now, but I have no idea what's happened to my son. I'm about to scream his name again, but I'm cut short by a familiar buzz. I turn right. The beach is still empty, but something red and white is in the air over the water. It lands, floats. It's round. A bobber. Someone is fishing. I want to run again, but my legs have tapped out. They're jello, and the sand doesn't make walking easy. My lungs spasm with each breath, starting to think what I took for exhaustion is actually a panic attack. The bobber bobs, flashing white. The line snaps up. Got him! A battle with a big fish commences. It slowly reeled into the shore, toward the woods just beyond the beach. Fishing from the sand is against Moose Hollow rules, I remember. I'm about to call for Elias again when I reach the tree line. I'm cut off again, this time by the sound of my son's voice. He's big. Told you it would work, the man says. Nothing gets the fish biting like another fish's offal. My legs tremble. My arms shake. Hand on a tree, I managed to stay upright. This is too much. Too similar. Felt like I'd lost them both. You didn't, I tell myself. Elias is here. Elias is safe. He came to rinse his hands, saw someone fishing, stopped to watch. The chain of logic makes sense. He's used to me sleeping for a few hours more. Probably thought he'd make it back without me knowing. I take a deep breath and let it out slowly, calming my nervous system, reducing the shaking. Grateful that I managed to not cry, I step into the woods, climb over a mound of granite boulders, and find Elias, standing next to an old man with a bushy white beard. Spotted him yesterday when we arrived, gave us a friendly wave. But my trust in humanity is at an all-time low, and the bloody knife and bucket of gore resting out of sight from Elias sets off alarm bells.